Good morning, friends. This is Reverend Tony Bain. Today we're going to talk about organizational health just for a few moments. And we're going to be using Patrick Lencioni's model of organizational health. And it's from his book, The Advantage. You can see on the screen that he has four major steps for organizational health. You might think of it as systemic health, sustainable ministry health, whole systems approach to health within an organization. His four major components of organizational health are that you must build a cohesive leadership team. At this point, he's talking about your board and your major team leads. You must build a cohesive leadership team. 2, you must create clarity. Create clarity. 3, reinforce that clarity. And 3 is over-communicate that clarity. So 2 is create clarity, 3 is over-communicate the clarity, and 4 is reinforce it. So there's a lot there about clarity, which we know clarity. Clarity is a new paradigm. 21st century leaders will truly understand clarity, transparency, integration, intentionality. So this is built on these 4 steps. So let's talk a little bit about each step. The first is build a cohesive leadership team. He says, when you have a cohesive team, you've eliminated politics, which we all know in ministry. There's still a lot of politics going on. People come even on the board with agendas. But he said this decreases efficiency. If you want to increase efficiency, you must be that 21st paradigm leader that comes on with no agenda, open to the greatest good of all. He says the other thing is you cannot be afraid to know and understand one another's. In fact, he says that you must know one another's strengths and weaknesses. Well, how do you do that? You have to talk honestly. There has to be transparency. And I'm going to do another little video that talks about his 5 steps of effective and dysfunctional team. He says you must be able to openly engage in conflict. Now, this is something that often doesn't happen in ministry because people are just uncomfortable with their discomfort when there's conflict, and they want to rush to prayer rather than allowing the conflict to be an energetic bursting of new energy. The other thing under building a cohesive leadership, step number 1, and he calls it a discipline. Isn't that interesting? He calls these 4 disciplines. You know, Mr. Fillmore started the Unity Correspondence course by saying that what will happen as you go through the Unity Correspondence course is you will develop a spiritual mind discipline. And discipline, the root word of that is disciple, and it means teachable. Teachable. So, you must have a mind discipline, meaning that these become okay. But you can't have this discipline without spiritual emotional maturity, which will also be another video. So discipline 1, build a cohesive leadership team. We talked about having no agendas when you come on the board, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, openly engaging in conflict so that new answers can arise, holding one another accountable and not being afraid of it, not being afraid to have natural consequences. You miss 2 board meetings, that is showing a lack of commitment to the board, and there are consequences. You may be asked to resign from the board. You say this up front. You have it as part of your agreements. We did the mutual agreements the other day. When they're part of the agreements, people cannot be upset when they are, well, they can be upset, but it's learning how to be present to a higher level. And that's what, in ministry, friends, that's what we're here for, to invite people to keep raising the bar of their own spiritual, emotional maturity. And the last, he says, for this cohesive team, these are so important, is commitment to group decisions. You may not agree with that decision that is being made. You may even vote against it. But as board, once that decision is made, everybody gets in line. And there's no parking lot discussions that say, oh, I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with that. So that's the first one, is build a cohesive team. Create clarity. In creating clarity, we are asking important questions. Why do we exist? How do we behave? Well, I can tell you, the only way you'll find out those questions is if you have a clear vision and mission and clear core values that have behavioral actions that support the whole system and that are brought forth in your membership program. So why do we exist? How do we behave? What do we do? Are we really clear on what is ours to do in this ministry, in this organization? What is most important right now? Not the minutia, but what is most important, and what must we do? What must we do now and next? And those you create through a strategic plan. And there's support for that within this region. As the ministry consultant for this region, I am here to support you in that. 3 is over-communicate clarity. Over-communicate this. Healthy organizations align everybody, all their members, around organizational clarity, vision, mission, core values. What does it mean to be a member? The functions of membership. By communicating key messages through repetition, repeat again and again. Simplicity, make it a simple message. I have read what people have thought were vision and mission statements for their ministries. Friends, they're so long, they're purpose statements. They're not vision and mission. Vision and missions are clear and compelling and quick, and you can learn them fast, and the whole group can get behind them because they're short, succinct, and they're compelling. And again, we can help you develop those from a regional perspective and as a ministry consultant. The other thing in this over-communicate clarity is multiple mediums. Don't just send emails. Not everybody reads them. You have to have it in the bulletins. Talk about it on Sunday morning. Have a meeting after church. Send out an email. Do some type of social media. Put it on Facebook. All of these things are ways that you meet the different types of people that are in your ministry. And then the other piece is cascading messages. Leaders communicate key messages to direct reports, and they communicate to their reports, meaning your team leads, and then the team leads report to theirs. And part of this communication is making sure that you are having adequate staff meetings with those that report to you, meaning at least once a month. I would say once a week, but some of these people are volunteers, and so a minimum of once a month. And then last 4 is reinforce clarity. Reinforce the clarity that we've done. Organizations sustain their health by ensuring consistency in how you hire, consistency in how you hire. And friends, just because somebody has been a loyal member does not mean they're going to make a good employee. And once you hire them, and we all know once you hire them, you start to see things within people that might not have been seen before. And so be very careful about from hiring within your system. Managing performance, meaning you must be giving people reviews. This is part of a healthy system, a feedback system. Everything, even an ecosystem, needs feedback. So you must be giving performance reviews. You must be giving feedback from that. Take the fear out of that. Oh, we're so spiritual. We're not supposed to be saying anything negative. You know what? You don't have to do it from a negative perspective. You can make it positive. And do rewards and recognition, like have recognition opportunities to let people know when they are doing a really good job. And also know how to let someone go. Friends, over the years, I have seen ministries struggle with employees that are not meeting the standards and excellence of what the ministry needs. But because everybody's so nice and that we have this misconstrued perspective around love, that we let mediocrity boil versus standing for excellence and inviting people to see that part of what lives in this culture is excellence. Organizational health, ministry health, build a cohesive leadership team, create clarity, over communicate that clarity, and reinforce clarity. My name is Reverend Tony Boehm. I am here to support you as your Unity South Central Ministry Consultant. 816-304-3044, 816-304-3044, Rev T Boehm, Boehm, at AOL.com, Rev T Boehm at AOL.com. Have a great day.